Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. I know that many of you are most likely coming from my previous video on the recent geomagnetic storms and the effects that you might be experiencing when it comes to your soul purpose, the activation of your voice, some things taking place generally in your life. But if you weren't coming from that video and you are interested in any of those things, then I do recommend exploring that video for context or listening to it after you listen to this one. But I said at the end of that reading that we were picking up on this masculine energy. Now, of course, those polarities could be reversed for you. So for most of you listening, I'm picking up that you are resonating as the divine feminine, and the person coming through here is a masculine, but that might be reversed for you. We all do have a balance internally of both divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And of course, those messages could relate internally or to some external person or dynamic. But for the sake of simplicity, I am going to be referring to this energy coming up as a masculine because that's what it's going to be for most of you. So this is someone, as I said at the end of that reading, who has been withholding in some way. The word player is coming out. So maybe this is someone who has seemed to be a player, although I'm getting that that is not their true nature. That's some kind of mask. That's something very surface level and artificial, but that's not really who they are. And yet they seemed to have done something to sabotage this connection or prevent some kind of coming together here with happy family. I'm hearing we could have been happy. Maybe that's you feeling like you could have explored a deeper connection with this person or been really happy together, but maybe they sabotaged it in some way. So let's get some more information here. And I also want to know how this is related to the geomagnetic storm. I am picking up because, as we said in that previous video, a lot of the effects of this geomagnetic change happening is that we are feeling heightened sensitivity. And what I'm getting here is that this masculine is feeling that as well. It's actually making them feel more sensitive to memories of their own past, things that may have happened in the past in their life. Maybe they're getting emotional about things in the past, or maybe specifically they're feeling emotional about past things that took place with you. I'm hearing don't walk away. Maybe this is someone who I'm just seeing someone reaching out and grabbing, but it's just they're grabbing thin air essentially. You've slipped through their fingers. That's how they're feeling. And they've got this heightened sense of sensitivity towards those emotions about feeling that they've lost you, feeling that you've slipped through their fingers. I'm hearing appreciating you now that you're gone. So maybe you did walk away from this person. Maybe you had to release it because it was creating a lot of anxiety in your life or triggering a lot of your deeper fears or insecurities with anxiety in the reverse position. Or with door to value reversed, you may have just not really seen any benefit to you by continuing this connection. You didn't really see the value in it, or there wasn't an equal value exchange here, meaning you were giving a lot to this person, but because of their unhealed state with Healer of the Ages reversed, specifically unhealed when it came to the throat chakra, so their authenticity, their communication, their openness. Maybe this is someone who wasn't open or authentic with you and you could sense it. Or maybe this is someone who was very hit and miss with their communication, unpredictable, not reliable when it came to that throat chakra communication energy towards you. And I'm hearing someone just became fed up with this dynamic and did choose to walk away to really stabilize themselves. You might feel as though this person's back to disturb your peace or something, because it's almost like you've just really stabilized yourself and found peace within yourself. And that's exactly the moment that this person comes back into your life. Now, for others of you, this might be predictive. So if you've walked away and you've really begun to find peace within yourself to stabilize, this might be a prediction message that a very strong timeline potential here based on the current energy, of course, because nothing is set in stone. When we read what we're calling the future, we're really just reading into the strongest future timeline potentials based on the current energy. But you are the all-powerful creator of your life, and you have the ability through shifting your energy to align with any frequency you desire and to manifest anything into your life. But anyway, so I'm seeing something about pink flowers for someone. This is someone who seems to come back into your life right as soon as you begin to feel really peaceful, really stabilized within yourself. Maybe this is someone who actually has a pattern of doing this. If they've been in your life for a while, this may be someone who does tend to reach out or tend to come back as soon as you fully detach or really find peace and stabilize within yourself. This might be a twin flame situation for some of you, although that won't be the case for everyone. I'm hearing yo-yo, like it might feel like a yo-yo with this person where it kind of goes down and then bounces back up, kind of volatile, meaning it's a bit unpredictable, although not exactly unpredictable, because the volatility itself is actually becoming predictable, meaning you seem to now be recognizing this pattern of you pulling back, detaching, focusing on yourself, stabilizing, and then this person popping back into your life out of the blue. I keep hearing patterns. So there's some pattern that you've been identifying with this particular person. I'm hearing, when will it end? So you might be wondering, like, is this pattern just going to go on endlessly? Maybe you feel that because of this repeating pattern, somehow this person or situation is keeping you in this state of limbo. But I am hearing something about a different perspective, seeing it from a different perspective. So your guides might be trying to get you to look at your growth or this person's growth or this situation from another point of view, to see that there's actually been a progression here. It's just not been linear, meaning there's been something evolving here. There's been something growing and expanding and building in a positive way here, even if it doesn't look linear or clean cut to your ego. Of course, the ego likes when things look very linear, they're very measurable, they're very clean cut, and there's something about this situation that isn't so much something you can measure as something you're able to sense. And yet there's been this growth. Now on your end, I see that the growth has been in your strength, resiliency, and confidence, but not only your confidence in a general sense, also your confidence in your own intuitive abilities, your confidence in living fully present in the moment and trusting that intuitive guidance that's given to you in the moment and not doubting it. And I'm hearing that recently you've been able to actually start connecting the dots and see how your intuition guided you in a certain direction, and it may have not made sense logically at the time, but you followed the guidance regardless. And looking back, you can see how things unfolded in some very pivotal, important, synchronistic kind of way that only happened because you had the courage to follow your intuition, even when it didn't fully make sense. I do see that you rising into this level of confidence has been highly triggering to this masculine energy in some way. Because on a deeper level, they recognize that I'm hearing that you're not malleable, that you're not going to be pushed around. I'm not sure why that's coming up here. That you are not going to waver from your own path. You're not going to waver when it comes to following your intuition. And your intuition is always going to be open and authentic with you about what is going on within this masculine, even if they aren't in the 3D fully giving you that authentic, open, trustworthy communication. And what that means is when I say this is triggering to them, I mean, it's not allowing them to hide. It's not allowing them to manipulate in any sense here. It's not allowing them to connect with you from a superficial place or from a place of artificial healing, making it appear as though they've grown or evolved or healed when they really haven't. That's not going to work on you because, again, your intuition is very clear to you and it's always guiding you and letting you know through your instincts, through where you're feeling pulled and where you're feeling repelled. It shows you or reveals to you what's going on within this masculine. Whether you realize that or not, meaning when you feel repelled away from this person, just desiring to focus on yourself, your own space, maybe not desiring to communicate or connect with this person, it's because your intuition maybe is aware that they aren't yet doing their healing work or that they haven't yet raised their vibration internally to be able to connect with you in a mutually valuable and mutually beneficial kind of way. And the end of 2023 and into 2024, especially for divine feminines, has been very much about reciprocated connection and getting very real and honest with the self about who and what is feeding and nourishing you in return. Because you've been for a while this generator of energy, this beacon of energy, and you've given people that activation energy to push them in a direction that's going to awaken them if they allow it to, that's going to heal them if they allow it to. But the key is here, we as divine feminines are no longer being allowed to remain in connections where we are that beacon, that generator, just kind of generating out into a void or into a vacuum. We are now being required to anchor in truly mutually reciprocated and beneficial connections that feed us in return, that nourish us in return, that support us in return. There is a call for this rebalancing to be taking place. And at times, divine feminine, you may even feel a little bit of guilt over, am I receiving more than my share? Because you are being heavily blessed, or for some of you who are maybe on a different time segment or a different timeline of this collective, I might be speaking into the future where you are going to be heavily blessed and you're being asked to be prepared to receive those blessings without guilt, to recognize so completely your worthiness of all of the love, the adoration, the support, the nourishment, the resources the successes, the abundance that you are receiving or going to be receiving, because all of these things are meant to support you in a very powerful and important mission on this earth. So with that mission in mind here, I also want to share with you my personal, most powerful tool specifically for those of you resonating here as divine feminines. And this is my subliminal called the Awakened Divine Feminine. Now, this subliminal is essentially an activation for the depths of your divine feminine goddess essence and energy. It's meant to activate those goddess codes within you that allow you to effortlessly manifest your grandest soul dreams and desires that are in alignment with that deeper purpose that you came here, that you incarnated here to embody. Now, for those of you who don't know, subliminals are so powerful because they are spoken affirmation tracks embedded within other meditation sounds, tones, and frequencies in such a way that allows the affirmations to bypass the conscious mind and make deeper, more lasting impressions on the subconscious mind, which is so powerful because it's actually the subconscious mind that controls 95% or more of our thoughts and therefore our energy, because of course our energetic field is a reflection of our mind, but 95% of the thoughts in our mind are subconscious. So when we reprogram the subconscious mind through subliminals, it's like this backdoor fast track to manifesting in our lives because we're able to shift our energy much more quickly through reprogramming our subconscious thoughts. Personally, I started using subliminals several years ago, and prior to that, I had become aware of the law of attraction, manifestation, meditation, and many different kinds of manifestation techniques. But none of these techniques were really bringing results into my life until I started using subliminals. And when I started meditating with subliminals on a daily basis, I began to see the most powerful transformations, shifts, and manifestations in my life. So I began to feel so passionate about subliminals that I have now created and recently launched my very own Subliminals app in both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. The name of the app is Sound and Soulful, and as you can see on the screen, on this app I have over 130 subliminals for essentially every area of life. So there are subliminals for love, relationships, money, success, for manifesting specific things, for twin flames, for spirituality, energy clearing, and so much more. And when you sign up for a 7-day free trial account in my app, you can access any of these subliminals in 10 different background sound options. You can also create your own custom private playlists, and you can even read the affirmations while you are listening. So again, for you, Divine Feminine, I would most highly recommend my subliminal called the Awakened Divine Feminine to really help you step into that flow state, manifest more powerfully and effortlessly into your life, and embody that kind of goddess essence and really soul deep beauty on a day-to-day basis. So this comes from the Twin Flames category in the app, and the link to download it and sign up for a 7-day free trial account is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Okay, so let's get back into the messages here. There's clearly a lot of mirroring happening between you and this masculine, because it's almost as though even though you might not consciously be thinking to yourself, oh, they are healing in this way or not healing in that way, you are subconsciously aware of it because of the energy connection between the two of you. This very well could be a twin flame situation. I know I said that initially in the reading, but I'm once again just getting this sense that the two of you are in this constant energy exchange, which means most likely there is either a twin flame connection here or a very high level soulmate. But the thing about the progression of this connection is it progresses as you, Divine Feminine, have the courage to follow your own intuition, even if at times it feels as though that intuitive voice is leading you away from this person. And that is what I feel is the greatest mental obstacle coming up here for the ego, for the mind, is that there are times where the best thing, the most healing thing, the most activating thing for this divine masculine and for your connection might actually be setting a boundary, pulling back your communication, focusing more on yourself, even walking away from this person. And maybe you've already followed that guidance in the past and created that kind of space, but you still feel that connection. So I'm hearing there might be this mind deception at times, this ego deception, trying to tell you to sacrifice your intuition for the sake of the spiritual connection that you feel with this person. But what I'm getting is that is the greatest mind deception of all really at play here, because it's your ego trying to latch on to the concept of there being this, yes, very real soul connection, whether it's a soulmate or a twin flame, but it's almost like the ego wants to latch on to that and then stifle or suffocate the process of expansion here, of evolution here, by convincing you to sacrifice your self-love, your intuition, where your intuition is guiding you for the purpose of pleasing this physical person in the moment, or seeming to facilitate a physical 3D connection with this person in the moment. I'm getting the word preservation, so it may actually be very counterintuitively or very ironically that you are preserving this connection for the long term when you make those intuitive choices to walk away or to set a boundary or to choose yourself. Again, if your intuition is leading you in that direction. Because really the key here through this whole reading is to keep yourself closely attuned to where and how your intuitive voice within is guiding you, because that's like your invisible GPS system that's always keeping you on track with your higher purpose here and keeping you in resonance with your deeper core soul frequency, which is naturally connecting you with this person's pure soul essence, with their soul, and holding the space for their own healing and expansion into the version of themselves in the physical that can connect with you in a consistent and harmonious way, if that is something that you desire. But I'm hearing it's not possible through self-sacrifice. That is the ego lying to you at times, trying to get you to sacrifice yourself, your goals, your dreams, your self-love, your intuition, to seemingly allow you to connect more with this person physically in the moment, but it's actually pushing their soul away in a spiritual sense. It's actually repelling the highest version of this connection, which is of course available and accessible to you, but not through self-sacrifice or sacrifice of the intuition here. That message is coming through very, very strongly. We're getting the card home, and I'm hearing you always find your way back home. As far as you go, you will always find your way back home. And maybe that is you and this person always seeming to find your way back to one another. I'm hearing you can't mess up what's truly meant for you. What's truly aligned with you or connected with you at a soul level will never pass you by. It will always remain in your orbit. And for those of you who do desire a connection with this person, at some point, I see again that is something that's available and accessible to you. Now, for others of you, of course, you might not desire that kind of connection with this person, and that's perfectly all right as well. As I always emphasize in these readings, when you have a desire, that desire, if it's coming from a pure place within you, speaks to what is there for you already on a higher timeline, because you can align with an unlimited number of timelines that carry different frequencies. And whenever we have a desire, it's because there is a higher timeline psychically calling to us. It's almost like we are seeing or sensing into our own potential future when we are visualizing, when we are imagining that future within our own minds. So maybe this is also a call to incorporate some positive visualization into your daily practice, whether it's visualizing a certain goal or dream, or maybe it is the connection with this person. But I'm hearing when you visualize, focus more on the feeling than the thing. So how you want to feel within that vision, how you want to feel within that potential connection. And that will actually allow you to raise your vibration to that level more quickly than focusing on the details or focusing on the thing. Once again, my subliminals can be really powerful as a tool to assist you. I personally do like to use them myself while I am manifesting through visualization. I find that they really facilitate my ability to visualize. So all of my subliminals are located on the Sound and Soulful app, and you can access the app by clicking the link in the pinned comment or description box under this video. Otherwise, I'm going to be leaving this reading here for now. Of course, if you do want more readings like this in the future, or you resonate with my energy, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. Thank you so much for sharing your own beautiful frequency with the channel today. I hope you have an amazing remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.